up, you beautiful bastards? Hope you're having a fantastic Friday. Welcome back to the Friday Show. If you're new here, Monday through Thursday, I like to talk about the world, the news, all the good stuff, and then Friday, I like to have a conversation with you guys and reply to your comments. That said, something I want to hit on before we jump into it. This week, a ton of people asked me to cover as a story or just comment on the Laci Green red pill situation. One, for those that don't know, Laci Green is a noted feminist, social justice warrior. We've been friendly and then not so friendly in the past. In the past, when I covered news about her, she said I was trying to push some sort of narrative. In the past, she has said, could @PhillyD be any more of a drama queen? I'm sick of alt-right assholes using my face to make money and direct harassment at me. Fuck off. Also back then, she said my coverage of a story around her was to promote the narrative that feminists are about censorship.
I don't think that this issue is really about copyright and fair use. I think that Philip DeFranco and the other people who made videos about me, attacking me on this the past few days, are really seeing this as an opportunity to go in on the narrative that feminists are out to censor people.
I'm gonna leave that there because I could do a whole video on toxic feminism versus classical feminism. But after all of that, she really didn't post for a while until recently she put out a video called Taking the Red Pill. And in it, she talks about taking a look at herself, opening herself up to conversations with people she would never spend time with in the past. People with completely different opinions, anti-feminists, having a dialogue. And so people ask, what do you think about this? And to that I say, if it's genuine, whether it be Laci or anyone else, if they open themselves up to a dialogue, they open themselves up to what is hopefully a healthy conversation, I say good. And that goes for the people on both sides of every issue. You have to just be open. There are some people that are so in their bullshit, they don't see any way except theirs. Fantastic example of it, Tariq Nasheed on Twitter. Everything's about race, everything is racism. This week there was this conversation that stemmed from an interview with Bill Cosby, and there were a lot of people saying that this was racism. Cosby was being accused by all these women because of racism, which others contested the number of black women that also accused Cosby, which Tariq said, for your information, just because they sprinkled a couple of black Bill Cosby accusers in with dozens of white ones doesn't negate the fact that it's racism. And I couldn't help myself. Guys, I love conversation. I'm not perfect. I asked him, is it exhausting being that stupid, or do you just get used to it after a while? Not proud of it. Then he hit me with a Q the white supremacist. Did you spell Q wrong? Q the white supremacist with multiple troll accounts, making the usual goofball insults. Hashtag yawn. Okay, to Tariq and anyone else that has this mindset, not even just about this issue. If you automatically think anyone making fun of what they think is a stupid comment or any criticism whatsoever is a person who is a white supremacist or the worst of the worst, you need to take a moment and look at the criticism to see if there's something valid. Haters gonna hate and you can't sweat them, yes, but also every criticism against you is not hate. The moment you cross that line, you think that's the truth, then you've just put yourself in a little bubble. But that's where I'm gonna end that one and into the Monday show. Monday we talked about the Fyre Festival fiasco, WannaCry ransomware, malware tech, and more. On the ransomware, Eileen the Crow, that's exactly why the government shouldn't force Apple or Google to give them back doors to their encryption, because it's a given that it'll be abused at some point. Agreed. The moment someone in power goes, we want this ability, well, we're only gonna use it in some cases, even though it could be applied to you in the future. Trust us. No, I've been hurt too many times in this life. I know what you would actually use it for because I would do the same thing. I'm a bad person. But if there is a silver lining to this ransomware story, it's that a lot of tech companies have started working together to demand the government and intelligence agencies stop doing stupid bullshit. Mago wrote, there's well over 2 to 3 billion computers out in the world today. Probably more. 200,000 infected computers is literally less than 0.1% of all computers. The ransomware scare is no more dangerous than Ebola was at its peak. And well, Ebola wasn't dangerous at all either. Didn't even spread outside of Africa. It's all about the perspective. Well, one, I don't know if any of your numbers are true just because I'm too lazy to Google them right now. Actually, I lied. I just Googled it and your numbers are sound. But it's the problem that it represents and also the people that were hit. The fact that the National Health Service was hit is horrifying. The fact that this is happening to people because the NSA was holding on to this exploit and then it was just stolen. That shines a spotlight on a massive problem. It is the digital equivalent, gonna be a little hyperbolic, the digital equivalent of someone walking into the army base and going, oh cool, a rocket launcher, and then just using that rocket launcher. The thing we're talking about at its core is a weapon that should not have been there in the first place and then gotten to the wrong hand. Also, I don't know why I've adopted such an angry tone. 0 Hour 17 wrote, okay, this Fyre Festival thing was hilarious to me until I heard the phone call. I still find it funny that people paid $11K to stay in tents, but not paying people and also not firing them so they can collect unemployment is just scummy. I'm kind of in the same situation with you because when I heard about this story, it was the week I wasn't doing shows. And the first time it came up on my screen, the story was essentially like the rich kids of Instagram. They went to this thing, it was a bust, it's hilarious, fuck them. Every douchebag you've ever hated on social media, they went to an island, it's gonna be Lord of the flies, screw them, but you also realize that there are real people involved here. Staff both on site and the ones we heard on that phone call. You don't know if Joe Blow saved a bunch of money, saw Kendall Jenner pimping something out, and he was like, oh my God, I don't live enough in this life, and I just have this one life, and you know what? I saved all this money, I'm gonna spend it. That's who I feel for. Now, I'm not gonna be holier than thou. I definitely, like, the thought of stupid Instagram douchebags scurrying around, it was immediately funny to me. But it is important to realize that there are real people here. Then we have the Tuesday show. Tuesday, we talked about the Danny Mathers lawsuit, the Michaela Maroney Instagram controversy, the Pirates ransom, the Seth Rich murder investigation, and Trump Russia. On Danny Mathers, Michael McKnight wrote, who cares if she took that photo? No one. No one would have known if people didn't research and found out who it was. Blame those people. People take photos all the time of people without permission. Old people don't give a fuck and walk around naked in locker rooms all the time. Are you trolling, Michael? I'm trying to give you an out here, Michael. It is the fault of the people who found the victim? That is next level ass backwards thinking, okay. In my experience, it's always been the perpetrator of a crime that has been the bad person, not the people identifying the victim so that the perpetrator can be prosecuted. Also, to the old people don't give a fuck and walk around naked in a locker room, I also get naked in a locker room, but I would fucking care if someone took a picture of me. It was in a private setting, it was meant to shame, and it was taken without permission. It was illegal. But I'll keep this in mind in case we end up going to the same gym, Michael. We'll post Michael McKnight's butthole all over the internet. On the Pirates pirating Pirates news, Amanda McNair wrote, even if Disney pays the money, who says they won't still release the movie? But yeah, Amanda, that's the problem I think in general with ransom. Right off the bat, you know you're negotiating with someone that is breaking a law, right? That really doesn't help the trust issue, and at least when you have like the ransom for a human being, you know, okay, you gave me a human being. This is my human being, end of situation. You're talking about a digital thing. But with a digital thing, even if you pay them, you have no peace of mind because it could be anywhere else. Michaela Maroney, BTRA wrote, hey, if Michaela Maroney wants to keep posting sexy photos and videos, I'm fine with it. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'll let her know. Actually, random side note, she actually DM'd me a thanks, also saying she's sending lots of blessings my way. So you guys, maybe we're gonna do a giveaway. Michaela Maroney blessings. Then let's talk about the Wednesday show. Wednesday, we talked about the YouTuber charged with a hate crime, the mom who raged over a sexist shirt, the King of Thailand crop top controversy, and the Turkish president's bodyguards assaulting American protesters. Ty G wrote, comedy has no line to cross. Nothing is off limits and it's supposed to be that way. I'd rather it be illegal to be offended than to have to go to court for joking. Okay, I was like with you, and then you completely lost me. I mean, I personally believe that there is a line in comedy, and that's actually where a lot of the comedy comes from, getting close to it, kind of going over it, pushing. There's also styles of comedy like Anthony Jeselnik that the whole point is we're over this line. It's crazy how fucking far past this line we are, and that's where we're gonna live for an hour. And that line has continued to move all these years. I think the big thing is that we don't try and ruin someone just because they crossed it in a way that didn't work. Comics, whether successful or just someone trying to be a comic in general, I think that they have to have some level of a safety net, where if they swing and miss on a joke, they're not automatically out and then kicked off the team and then ejected from the stadium. And as far as the making it illegal to be offended, I mean, that's insanity. Becca G wrote, I'm Jewish and had family in the Holocaust. I'm honestly not sure how I feel about it. Is it funny? I don't think so. But I don't necessarily think those actions should become legal issues. Mr. Mojo says, when someone's calling a dog moving its paw a hate crime, it's really downgrading the seriousness of actual hate crimes and racism that occur every day. And what I'll say is, in this video, I said, you know, for the sake of this video, I want to keep my opinion out of it. Now, for those of you that have watched me for a long time, this will not be shocking. Or if you just saw my videos covering the Wall Street Journal versus PewDiePie and that whole Nazi thing. Obviously, there are differences because Felix was so misrepresented in so many of the articles. But I think the people that get angry and the people that want to prosecute, they see the thing that offends them and then they block everything else off. They block out the first 18 seconds of the video where he's saying, you know, my girlfriend loves this dog too much. I'm going to ruin this dog by making it the least cute thing in the world, a Nazi. Nazis are disgusting, they're the worst, and so I'm going to try and make this dog associated with the worst thing in the world. And the entire time he's laughing because it's so wrong and stupid. Now, do I understand why people would be offended by it? Yes. But just like Becca, I don't think that this legal route is the right way to go about it. Especially a year of this guy's life could go away because of a joke. Personally, I think that's insane. Lord Finchness wrote, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're trying to claim that video of the king in a crop top is defamation? How? That video just accentuates how fire the king looks in that crop top. He's killing it, fam. Hashtag foo-foo for life. Emily wrote, the problem with Boys Will Be Boys is that it is a lazy parenting technique that excuses young boys being violent, messy, or just overall badly behaved. In contrast, girls are told not to be messy and to be polite and ladylike. It's a bad precedent to set so early in a child's life that boys are allowed to do whatever they want and girls have very strict roles to fill. Emily, I will say I think you have the most valid argument I've seen against this. Now, I'm a little bit sad because I'm not gonna be able to put my money where my mouth is because after this second baby, we are done. son. I do not want to be outnumbered by the children, but the second baby is going to be a boy, so a boy, I'm never gonna be able to experience what it is to raise a little girl. But I think if we all want to change what the future is, it starts with how we raise our kids and how we handle our home. If I had a little girl and someone tried to put her in a box, I'm gonna punch you in the throat. We made that joke, sure, boys will be boys, and then we added all the text. It's still available for sale. Apparently, just despite me, 500 of you bought shirts in the first 2.5 hours. Would a better, more accurate phrase be kids will be kids? Yeah. But, and I will admit, this might just be some of my own stubbornness, I don't wanna have to give up a phrase that I think I can use innocently, just because others have a negative experience with it. I'd rather, instead of just blocking things out, changing things. Like we've seen things in the past like, play like a girl, do whatever like a girl, and the whole reference in that video was, you're strong. I think a lot more in this world can change if you are proactive rather than trying to strip things down. Obviously, that doesn't work in all situations, but I think hopefully you're getting the point that I'm trying to get across. And then let's talk about Thursday. Thursday, we talked about that fantastic McDonald's ad. We talked updates on the Turkish bodyguard situation, and we jumped down the Trump-Russia rabbit hole. Max Bott wrote, I think McDonald's was trying to promote the idea that there's something generations have in common. A son can find a connection with his lost father through their food, much like being able to feel close to someone by watching their favorite movie or playing their favorite sport. Okay, so I kind of get that, but I want you to watch the full 90-second thing, because I didn't even really touch on the best thing. The young boy asks about his father, and she says he was a big, tall, burly man with big hands, and he looks to his hands, and he has tiny hands. He used to shine his shoes. His son's shoes are dirty. The girls loved your dad. The girls walking past the little boy, they just don't want. It's so sad because the fillet of fish is the only thing he has in common with his dad. A 400-calorie piece of fast food that's not good for him. I'm not angry, I just think they laid on the emotional exploitation hard. Adam Palia said, plot twist, in the McDonald's commercial, the kid's dad was Ronald, and he was killed by that weird McDonald's mascot thing they tried out for a while. On the Turkish bodyguards assaulting protesters, CG for You wrote, First Amendment covers you, diplomatic immunity covers them, laws are laws even when something ridiculous like this happens. Well, one, that's why I think at the very least these people need to be barred from the United States. And two, the whole story became a little bit juicier. Yesterday, just after I finished the show, a video went up showing a different angle of the protest. And in it, you see one of Erdogan's personal bodyguards nod his head, rush over to where the protesters are. All of a sudden, that's when you see the scuffle. And then when we look at the footage, we see that he's actually one of the guys who started beating the protesters. So now people are asking the question, did the president of Turkey tell him to do that? It seems very possible. It looks like one of the bodyguards is being told something from the car. He passes that information off to head nod kick you in the face. The bodyguard talks to whoever's in the car. And then a minute later, we see Erdogan get out of the car and walk into a building. We don't have audio, we don't know what was said, but it looks sketchy as hell. And I think that's actually where I'm gonna end today's show. I wanna thank you guys for another fantastic week. Whether you watch, you share, you're either been a part of DeFrancoElite.com. Thank you for being a part of and helping me do what I love. But with that said, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you Monday.